Greetings everyone, welcome to my Unit 5 project. One of the first things I was thinking about for this was visions of the mystical experience and how these visions create the context of the cultural map and how that unifies the community. I was also looking at altered states and the methods in which you get there that allow you to have those visions in the first place. I also found it really interesting that the spiritual relationship is the thing that is used for healing and for bringing about balance, both socially and on an individual level. So what I made here is an acrylic painting on board. I call it Guardian Spirit, and it is a representation of my vision of my guardian spirit, and this comes from the perspective of the Coast Salish Native Americans that live in the northwest area of the continent, which is going to include British Columbia, Oregon, Washington, and islands that are in and around the Salish Seas. And one of their big winter ceremonies is the spirit dance. The spirit dance is an initiation process for adolescents into adulthood. And it can also be a healing ritual for adults who have kind of lost their way and are exhibiting psychological or behavioral problems that these people describe as soul loss. And so what this ceremony does is it connects the individual back with their guardian spirits in the supernatural realm so that they can be responsible citizens in the community once again. And these spirits are revealed to them in the trance or altered state that is achieved by going through the ceremony. So this is a depiction of me with my guardian spirit, which is the golden eagle, which is enveloping a depiction of myself. The artwork was heavily influenced by the style of Joe Wilson. The revealed guardian spirit is relevant to the community because each guardian spirit contains particular properties and attributes that contribute to the everyday life and survival of the tribe. In order for the candidates to reach this altered or trance state that allows them to have their visions, several steps are taken, where they're put into solitary confinement and they fast. They're not allowed to eat, they're not allowed to sleep, they're not allowed to move, they're blindfolded, they're in complete darkness. And this could last from 4 to 10 days. And each night, select members from the rest of the community come in and they'll tickle them, bite them, hit them, pick them up off the floor, whirl them about, drop them down on the floor. And this happens day after day. And they do this until the people are completely exhausted. And then we move to the second part of the process. They make them run for miles barefoot out in the snow. They make them swim in the really cold waters that are around, and they make them dance around a fire for several hours at night where the rest of the community is there and they're drumming and they're chanting and they're singing and there's this consistent rhythm and they're completely broken down and then they're completely open to receive any visions that the supernatural realm might have for them, which includes showing them their guardian spirit. This killing of the old self so that a new self can awaken and come forth in the community is reminiscent of the cathartic experiences that we looked at through the ayahuasca rituals. And using the spiritual realm to bring balance and healing both to the individual and the communities, I think we've seen in several places, including the Shipibo. I ended up settling my work on the Coast Salish Spirit Dance ceremony because I was really fascinated by the visionary and cathartic experiences that happen through the ayahuasca rituals, but I wanted to know how people in other cultures got to that state and had those visions without the use of hallucinogenic plants. And so my internet search brought me immediately to an article written by Timothy Thompson that speaks about it, and he also really broke things down for drumming, and he kind of explained that you need somewhere between 240 and 420 beats per minute to reach a trance or altered state. So I gave it a go, and I can't say I had any hallucinations, but it was a very meditative and relaxing process that opened me up to know that the golden eagle was going to be my guardian spirit, and that's where I was going to go with the project. I was originally going to put it on a drum head, but I thought better about it, and I've really enjoyed the process. I've really enjoyed the work. This whole lecture unit has given me a lot to think about the spiritual relationships and how they create health and balance, not only within an individual, but within the community. And as art being a primary vehicle to express that relationship gives me a lot to think about as an artist, on both a personal and social level. And so I look forward to seeing how that plays out and